What up, y'all? Today, about to beat myself something pretty unique, a little bit of a delicacy, if you will, in some parts of the world. That is chicken feet. The second time I've ever had chicken feet. This is a Korean style spicy chicken feet, which I have right here. Look at those, man. That's looking pretty intimidating. I've had these once before, and I don't even remember what they taste like, really. There's a couple options. In Korea, usually you get these with either bone in or bone out. I got them with bone out because I don't like picking at those little bones, really. I also got some tuna mayo rice. This is called in Korean fist rice, because what you're supposed to do is mix it all up and roll it into little balls that are supposedly shaped like a fist. Or maybe it's because you make it with your fist. They give you this little glove here, plastic glove, so you can like shape it into a bunch of balls. Last but not least, I have this steamed egg right here, which, you know what? This is not the best food for delivery here because, yeah, I don't know. When you get this in the restaurant, it's one of my favorite things to eat at a Korean restaurant. It's delicious, but this one's looking real watery and, you know, you gotta have it fresh. They usually bring it out to you in a nice, like, stone pot and it's still bubbling and hot and delicious, but this should still be all right, hopefully. Also got myself bottle of soju. They also threw in some leafy greens over here and a couple, just like some garlic, some sauce, and this thing of soup. I don't need this. I don't even want this, man. I don't even have room for it. But I appreciate it, you know. Came out to about $26.50. And this right here, chicken feet, the star of the show here, this is usually eaten as kind of a side dish for alcohol, soju, beer, whatever. You know, I gotta rock with the soju, but I'll tell you, looking at this right now, this looks like a full-on meal. I'll show you what you should do with this rice first, because usually, you know, they'll bring this out to you, and you'll put on this glove, or someone usually gets the duty to make these fist rice things, and what you do is you mix it up with your hand. You get involved with it. You have to really get involved. You have to go all in with it. By the way, you got some mayo, you got some tuna. Those yellow things are like really finely chopped up pickled radish, I believe, and there's also some sesame seeds sprinkled on top. And you just go in. And it feels kind of wrong to do this at a restaurant because you're just like playing with your food. Kind of seems like it, but it's fun, you know? That's one thing about Korean food that I just think it's an added element of fun that you can eat, that you can experience while you're eating at a restaurant, like, you know, cooking at the table if you're eating Korean barbecue, or if you're just like doing this right here. And I don't think I'm gonna spend all my time making all these individual little rice balls, but I'll show you the gist. Basically, get it all mixed up. I almost forgot. This is a crucial element that I almost forgot. These are really finely chopped pieces of salted seaweed that you gotta throw on there. You gotta mix these in the mix. If you hate seaweed and you've never tried this, then you might as well give it a shot, because it ain't no slippery, slimy, you know, it ain't none of that. It's fresh out of the sea. No, it's dried, it's salted, and it really just tastes like a little piece of salty, a little bit of, you know, saltwater paper, you know? Anyway, you get that all mixed up here, and as you can see, it's quite sticky, making a mess already. And you basically just want to roll it into balls, just like that. And then like I said, someone has the task of making all these little rice balls. I'm not gonna do that probably because I ain't got time for that. But here's one of them. I'm gonna go ahead and eat this right now. I'll save this for last because, like I said, start of the show. I love this stuff right here. I slept on tuna and mayo, that combination, for my whole life. Never had it around the house. Never had tuna, like canned tuna. So I never knew what it was all about. in Korea, people love tuna mayo. And so I started eating it a lot more when I came to Korea. Almost forgot this. All right. So I'll probably just be, picking and popping at some of these foods here. Again, here is the, I don't know if you can see all that liquid in there. There shouldn't be that much liquid in there at all, but that's what you get for delivery. It still should be good nonetheless. And these are just like freshly steamed eggs here. Steamed. And with a very nutty and salty. I'm pretty sure they might, I don't know, I might be tripping, but I feel like there's some kind of like sesame oil flavor going on in there. I might be tripping on that. Someone probably knows better than me. I never claimed to be a Korean food expert, but I figured it's been a long time since I've done a Korean food video. Like a classic Korean food. All right. Good though. Delicious, just too much liquid. What can you do? Chicken feet. Also mixed in are some pieces of like tteokbokki or like rice cakes. I don't know if you can see that. Which is like I don't even know, like tteok. It's like rice cakes. Try that. I was supposedly supposed to be real spicy. Yeah. That's a good, you can tell the sauce, you can tell that flavor in there immediately. It's spicy, it's, got a lot of chili flavor, and it's got some like fire, like super. I'm getting all my languages mixed up right now, but it's got some like charcoal kind of flavor, that charbroiled flavor. All right, we're getting into it now. Here is a chicken foot without bones. I don't, this, you might want to look away. Should have given you a warning. My bad if I caught some of you guys off guard. Hopefully you didn't click out of it because you might want to see how this tastes. Don't judge a book by its cover. That's what they say. It's not looking appetizing. I'll tell you that much right now. Especially this side. I don't know if you can see those little fine details, but it's a chicken foot. And it's one of those things that, if you're from where I'm from, this can be very intimidating. I'm stalling a little bit. Like I said, I've had this once before years ago, and I don't really remember what it was like. So, going in. Okay. All right. See, that's not bad at all. That's actually, I feel like there is some high potential with that. It's spicy, hit me in the back of the throat. The flavor is just, first of all, the flavor is spot on. You're getting a lot of that charcoal. It's like marinated, some spicy, peppery chili sauce or something, and then thrown on a charcoal grill over some hot coals. And you're getting that smokiness, I feel like. Texture, that's a different story. That is a far different story. But like I said, I think it has potential. Especially if you pull one of these moves here. So I'm gonna get some of this. I mean, look, everyone's different, when it comes to flavor. What do you prefer, the flavor, the texture guy, or a flavor? Everyone says they're a texture guy. Everyone says it. Like, oh, I just, it tastes good, but I just can't deal with that texture. Everyone says it, but I feel like, I think that's just a weak argument sometimes. Or a generic argument. Especially when you can mix and match like that a little bit. That takes away from some of that gelatinous texture. I forgot to mention, these two sides right here are probably the most common sides that you order when you get chicken feet. This steamed egg and these like chumokbap or this rice. I think it's because these are typically supposed to be really spicy, and the egg and this rice are kind of supposed to dissipate that flavor, the spiciness. Whew. All right. You get some of that cartilage. A lot of it, actually. A good portion of it. And so, if you ever have one of those friends who's eating wings and they're like, oh man, you don't eat the cartilage, it's the best part. Then you're like, hey man, why don't you eat some of these chicken feet? And then tell me what's up. And if they like it, then they're true. Then you can believe them. Ooh, now these are the I got the spiciest version that they had. I give it a solid 6.7 on the spice scale. Which is almost perfect. You don't want to be going up into those higher numbers because then you just don't really enjoy the food. Like, I can handle spice. I'll be handling it. I'm probably in I want to say, the 95th percentile, I would say. But still, I don't actively search for like food that's just gonna ruin the whole meal and ruin my whole next day. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Ain't no point in that. Really interesting and diverse, combinations of flavors and textures going on here. I wish there was something a little bit more solid with a little bit more chew, like a piece of bread or something, like a bagel chip, because everything is pretty soft. And I have to admit, I'm one of them texture people. I'll talk smack about him, but the reason why is because everyone says it. Especially those wannabe foodies. The wannabe foodies who want to be so edgy, experimental, kind of like me. But they're always like taking pictures for the gram, searching out, waiting 5 hours in line to get the new hot thing. And but then when you offer them like a new unique food that they never had before, they'd be like, I'm a texture person. Texture. It's all about the texture. I can't handle that texture. My rant about foodies. You know who you are. Chicken feet. Gelatinous. This is one of those foods that like you eat one or two and you're like, oh damn, that's, especially if you're looking at it and you're like, oh man, I don't think that's gonna really be great. That's probably not, that looks nasty, that's gonna taste nasty, and then you take a bite and you eat it and it's better than you think, a lot better than you think. So you're like, oh yeah, that's pretty good, that's pretty damn good. And you eat a couple, maybe even 3 or 4 pieces, and then you start to think in your head, you get that pit in your stomach and you're like, you know what, nah, this, I can't eat no more. I'm tired of this. That is exactly, I'm keeping it real. I'm gonna keep it real with you. That's exactly what this is to me. Like I said, second time trying it. First time, I remember it being like, the first time it really stuck out as being like, oh, that's better than I thought it would be. The first time I had it, which was years ago, and that's the only thing I can remember about it. To be honest, I remember it being better the first time. You know that feeling when you just go on a rant and start talking smack about, start talking shit about something, and you realize, oh damn, I am that. I am that person. Well, I think that's what you all just witnessed right here. So I take everything I said back. It just, you know, in conclusion, chicken feet. First time you try it, or the first couple bites you take, oh wow, that ain't that bad after all. Eat a couple bites, that's really good. 5 bites down the road and you're like, you know what, I don't even want to eat no more of this. And that's where I'm at right now, you know. That's how I would sum it up. Worth a try for sure. But don't go boasting to your friends about it unless you're really about it. Obviously, I'm not about it. I'm not about it. I'm kind of ashamed. This video got derailed pretty quick, but I will have one more shot of this before I skate out of here. You know, I'll say this defeated me. You know, I never set out to break the world record here. Just I wanted to show you a nice little sample of what you can get in Korea, what a lot of people do eat here in Korea, especially late at night. I mean, it's real, it's the middle of the night here. And like I said, it's one of those things that typically is eaten as a side dish for alcohol. So it's a little side munchies. And I think that would be a much better use for it. Although, if you're about to burst at the seams, and you might spew at any second, and you're a little bit, you know, you can't, and you look at this, you might just let it all out. So, you know, I will give you that warning right now. And hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed this video in some type of way. And thank you for watching it. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.